Yes, my dear friends, welcome back to the channel. Very good day to you guys all out there, wherever you are around the globe, on the continent of Africa, in Europe, in America, Canada, Australia, or right in Southeast Asia. Ladies and gentlemen, what a day it has been so far. Very beautiful Monday. And look, guys, match day is tomorrow. Next up, or let me say up next, Chelsea versus Atalanta, or Atalanta versus Chelsea. All the way in Italy, ladies and gentlemen, all the way in Italy, Atalanta, Champions League football, December 9th, time 8 p.m. 8 p.m. if you're in Africa. Yeah, I think you're on the same time level with UK. So 8 p.m. in the evening, late evening game. Here in Asia, Southeast Asia, you can imagine that time, 4 a.m. game. 4 a.m. Well, it's part of our job, so we can't complain. It is 8 p.m. and Enzo Maresca is going to have a late evening presser today. Usually the presser used to be early, but today the presser will be 6:30 p.m. UK time. 6:30 p.m. That is 2:30 a.m. here. Oh my goodness. So you see, these guys are making our job more difficult for us each day. That is what I'm hoping. The World Cup coming up, USA, the World Cup. I'll wake up in the morning and I'll be watching the games in the morning while sipping my coffee. And you guys out there in Africa, you will not be having your good night's sleep throughout the World Cup. Because I'll wake up, if the game is 9 p.m., I'll be up 9 a.m. and I'll be sipping my coffee. Ladies and gentlemen, that is how it's going to be. Time differences. Well, it is what it is. Now, I now know how important Caicedo is to this Chelsea setup. Ladies and gentlemen, now I'm beginning to know. You see, before I actually know Caicedo is very important. But Caicedo is actually Chelsea's most important player. 115 million pounds Chelsea paid for the player. We are beginning to see the value of it right now. In the last games that we played and the circumstances that surrounded it, Chelsea without Caicedo, we've seen a difference. From when he got a red card and the match that he did not play in, it was clear the most important player in that Chelsea setup. PALMER for well over 2 months, we didn't feel it that much. From the moment PALMER was absent in the squad, we were still winning games. It wasn't that much felt. As a matter of fact, some of us began to think that the team was not even built around PALMER after all. But Caicedo, not in this squad, from the moment we lost him in that Arsenal match, right? Though we did well, we defended well, we were compact, Arsenal could not win the game. But it came with other consequences. That Chelsea could have won that game. But we did not. Was it? It was national game that he got a red card. Yeah. He played the Barcelona game, the national game, he got a red card. For me, right now as we speak, Caicedo is the most important player in this Chelsea setup. It is. And I'm happy Caicedo is back. And he'll be available for tomorrow's game against Atalanta. He'll also be available against Everton over the weekend. But the challenge right now Maresca will be facing is the biggest selection dilemma for Atalanta game in that central defense. Though Caicedo is back, our central defense remains an issue. Fofana is available to be selected for tomorrow's game. Chalobah and Fofana are the most strongest two pair. Wesley Fofana and Chalobah, they are the most strongest pair in that central defense. But it could risk Fofana's injury if he starts in midweek for the second time in 3 weeks. And also, remember our game after the Champions League football against Everton is equally important. If it is, that game is like a must win. You know, this season we are in right now reminds me of last season. What is happening right now? Last season by this time, Chelsea was beginning to struggle. And in this season, we lost grounds. We lost much more points than even last season. Last season by this time, we were having 32 points. Yeah, game week 14, we had 28 points. Game week 15, plus another 3 points, right? That's 31 points. But here we are right now, game week 15, the Premier League, and we are still 24 points. Last season by this time, game week 15, Chelsea was actually first on the league table. We were top in the league table. Yes, come on. Last season, why are you shaking your head? Let me show you. Premier League. I'll get it. Premier League standing. December 2024. Premier League table at Christmas 2024-25 season. Let me show you. Liverpool was first in December. But the question is, from when in December? Because Chelsea started losing grounds around Christmas. Yeah. But this time, around Christmas, Liverpool was 39 and Chelsea was 35 points. Chelsea was 35 points in December last season, right? But I remember very well, first and second week, which I'm not able to get because of time, for the sake of time. First, second week, Chelsea was topping the league table. It was during the festive period, during the Christmas festivities itself, that Chelsea lost ground. That is why the ground, it was only 4 points Liverpool was leading Chelsea. Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, and Nottingham Forest were the top 4 teams. Now, here is the look. Season on December 25th, before Boxing Day, as well as the league table on Xmas Eve, previous season. Liverpool only toppled Chelsea before the Boxing Day, during the last week. Chelsea was leading. This was when we said Chelsea was in the title race. Until this moment, the news was that Chelsea was in the title race. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are 24 points. We are 24 points. Even Nottingham Forest last season was fighting for top 4, if you remember very well. Thank you. Which one is this?
Premier League 2020 for Christmas season.
The same thing I have here. What I'm saying is that before it got to Christmas period, if you are not yet in Christmas, 2 weeks to Christmas, right? That's what I'm saying. Before we go, or 2.5 weeks to Christmas. But this time last season, Chelsea was top of the Premier League table. It was during the Christmas period that Chelsea lost ground. And right now, when you check it, what is it? 39 points, right? Liverpool was leading 39 points, and Chelsea 35. Means that Liverpool toppled Chelsea with only 4 points at Christmas. Only 4 points at Christmas. That tells you that when Chelsea started losing ground was from after now. Before now, Chelsea was the one leading the league table. Look at the next team. Arsenal was 33 points. I don't want to lose track of my. You see, so I was saying, Chalobah and Fofana are the strongest pair. But going into the game, we need to also have a look at the game coming up on Saturday against Everton. Will it be wise we play Fofana tomorrow or we play Fofana on Saturday? And tomorrow, what can we do? What can Maresca do? What can Maresca do tomorrow? I will say, I will suggest, if Achampong can partner Trevor Chalobah. We've seen Achampong partner Badeshile against Liverpool. Do you remember? And we won. We've seen Achampong, George Achampong partnering Trevor Chalobah. Badeshile, and George Achampong against Liverpool, and we won. So we can equally go by that, because if you have Badeshile, Trevor Chalobah, Michael Krala, and Malo Gusto, or Trevor Chalobah, Badeshile, George Achampong, Michael Krala, then we reserve Wesley Fofana against midweek Premier League game. Midweek Premier League game. Otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, we will struggle against Everton on Saturday. A game which is a must-win. At the same time, the game tomorrow against Atalanta, it's also a must-win if we want to maintain our position, if we want to be in the top 8 for the Champions League table. Top 8 for the Champions League table. Ladies and gentlemen, I will not be taking much time. I will soon be running up. Cole Palmer is not involved in training today ahead of Atalanta game. Yesterday. We understand Cole Palmer was not spotted in training against, yesterday ahead of Atalanta game. There is no injury situation from the news we are receiving. No injury news. Situation about him. It is just part of his return process, and he will be ready to face Everton on Saturday. Means that very likely Cole Palmer will not be featuring tomorrow against Atalanta. In his absence, in his stead, who is going to be playing? We're going to be seeing once again who? The usual suspect. Joao Pedro, playing in the number 10 role. Or Bonanote. Very likely we might see Bonanote in that game. Though it's a must win. But Cole Palmer was not spotted in training yesterday. And it is very likely, in fact, he's not going to be playing against Atalanta in Italy. Ladies and gentlemen, he will not be playing against Atalanta in Italy. Now, I'll be talking in brief on a particular player very soon before I run up. And like I said, Joshua Achampong has been an unused substitute as well in the last 6 Premier League matches. He has not started a Chelsea match for nearly 6 weeks now, which is unexplainable. Maresca admittedly said he regretted not starting him against Leeds, instead using Tosin and Badeshile. Are we going to be seeing him tomorrow? I'll be very happy. I'll be excited to see the young man, the 18-year-old, playing against the Italian side, Atalanta, tomorrow. I'll be very excited to see him. Now, another area that we need to be worried about or think about is our striker options for the time being. Our striker options right now, in the absence of Delap, Liam Delap will be out for 6 to 8 weeks. Now, our striker options are Maguire, Joao Pedro, and Pedro Neto. These 3 are our striker options right now. Will Chelsea accelerate Emmanuel Emega's arrival from Strasbourg this January? I don't think so. It would have been the best option. But the truth of the matter is that he is Strasbourg's captain. And Strasbourg are in Europe. They are equally fighting in League One to continue to be in Europe next season. So it will be a disservice to take away their main striker and their captain from them in January. Remember, it is still our club. We cannot hurt them that much. So Emmanuel Emega's arrival, definitely it will come on, but it's going to be in next summer, ladies and gentlemen, quickly, let me run up here. Mohamed Salah, Mo Salah. We understand Mo Salah has been left out of Liverpool squad, Liverpool traveling squad. And I want to remind you guys that sometimes some of these things do happen. You see, there is no player in the Premier League history with better consecutive seasons than Mo Salah in this Liverpool setup. When you measure his performances season after season after season, by overall output in terms of goals and assists. Ladies and gentlemen, just look at the numbers there for Mohamed Salah. The past 9 seasons, look at the numbers there. Seriously, I've never seen this kind of numbers before. I have not. 2017-2018, 44 goals, 16 assists. 2018-2019, 27 goals, 10 assists. 2019-2020, 23 goals, 13 assists. 2020-2021, 31 goals, 6 assists. 2021-2022, 31 goals, 15 assists. 2022-2023, yes, 30 goals, 16 assists. 2023-2024, last season, 25 goals, 14 assists. 2024-2025 season, yeah, that was last season, yeah. 34 goals, 23 assists. Why he was given an assurance for this season? Because of these numbers. Now we understand. Mo Salah has been left out from the squad that has traveled for Champions League football. Mohamed Salah, 33, is out of the Liverpool squad. He will not travel to Italy for the Champions League match versus Inter Milan. Decision made by board and Slot. I said it earlier on. It is over with Mohamed Salah. It is over. He has done, he is the greatest I can remember in terms of Liverpool. Now, the latest news we are receiving regarding Real Madrid is that Real Madrid held an emergency early morning meeting at the Bernabeu today to decide Xabi Alonso's future. Xavi is under serious pressure. Yet the gap between Barcelona and Real Madrid is not much. Only 4-point difference. 4 points. They are still in the race. But there was an emergency meeting here. We understand. The club is divided on whether he should stay or be sacked. On Wednesday's clash against Manchester City is now seen as his final chance to save his job. I know that, you see, the truth is that part of the dressing room is already against him. It started with Rodrigo. Yeah. Part of the dressing room is not actually support of the system he's trying to implement. Well, we wait to see where else. Xabi Alonso was in Germany, was doing quite well. Sometimes it's better you remain where you were, where you have made a king. Don't get swollen-headed and move out thinking you'll be king everywhere. You might not be appreciated. Being a legend in Real Madrid does not, as a player, you might go there and fail as a coach. It's a huge job, the biggest club in football. Maybe it's just timely. If he's sacked and Ancelotti is sacked, he will just switch job. Liverpool will just grab him because he's equally a legend in Liverpool. So Liverpool, they actually wanted him, but he opted for Real Madrid. So maybe it's just the right time to switch to his second most favorite club. Ladies and gentlemen, on that note, I'll see you guys on the next one when you see me. Shalom and peace.